Yeah, we go up. Chasing this money, it give me a rush. I am the shit and I still can't be flushed. Still in the six and I still can't be touched. Craving rap bitches, eat them up for lunch. Moving that white like the Brady Bunch. They think that I'm soft until I make it crunch. Yeah, they think that I'm soft until I make it. I load up the chopper, might light your whole block up. If you feeling froggy, then leave.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on? You already know when the how go, my creators. Yes, my creators. I am behaving. I actually have the headsets on. It's been happening the last couple of episodes. Reemo's been behaving. But nonetheless, there's another edition of C.U.T.S, my creatives. You know what the C.U.T stand for. Culture, urban, technology, and sports. Now, my creators, you know what this is with this platform. We bring you the heavy hitters, the needle movers that I know personally in this industry and as well as in life. Nonetheless, this man to my left, to your right. Woo! Man, where does it start? Well, I know his crew, if I'm not mistaken, most hated. Am I correct on that? Yes. And Fact Mob, shout out to the Fact Mob, you know what I'm saying? We collabed on many parties. Not promoting, but ventured out and we see each other like, yo, and just mob up, gang on some Harlem shit, you know what I'm saying? Zip Code, oh God, Glass House, oh Spirit, so many. yeah. You see,
made me feel old.
Listen, we around the same AARP. End of the day, I have witnessed this man right here extremely set blaze on the fashion, entrepreneurial, and business, not just in Harlem, just in the world, period. Also, too, I am speaking, he is a multi-award winner of many things, but I witnessed in front of my face a few years ago, I think it was 2018. He was at Slate. They had the Fashion 500 award, and I witnessed you get that.
God,
yo, hold on.
Beautiful event.
The funny thing, I'm like probably one of the few people in a hoodie and jeans as I came back from Philly, working a filming assignment, and the people I was filming for, I was like, look, you got to let them know I'm in a hoodie and jeans. I'm coming from Philly.
So underdressed.
Yeah, I'm super underdressed. Yo,
they gotta bring Fashion 500 back.
Yo, word. No,
Shout out to the Block Association.
Yes, they have to.
Please bring Fashion
500 back. Yes. Yeah. Hey, shit. But end all be all, I'm gotta continue with this startup because it's just this connection here. What we're gonna take you on today in this episode is gonna be epic. Nonetheless, I got Kells Mania.
Yes.
Kells Barnett.
Yes, sir.
In the motherfucking building, first and foremost, sir.
Right.
Beloved, what's good, son?
Right.
What's good, God?
Living, man. Beautiful, blessed, humble. Sometimes you have unhumble moments, but I'm still humble.
Of course.
Living life, man. Loving it. Shout out to my man AP. That's my man AP.
Yes,
has one of the best sayings in the world. Living life and loving it, and it's a real thing, man. Like you just living life and loving it.
Shout out to AP, man. I say AP in a minute, man.
Even if you're not living life and loving it, you gotta live life, and you're gonna have to love what you living.
Of course, but here's the thing, though, right? And touching on that, that's what this COVID really made me realize, right? Not saying that wasn't always my mantra, but it was such a needed reset because the status quo was killed, right? Because everybody was stopping, billionaires, millionaires, thousandaires.
Yo, it was the first time everybody in the world was doing the exact same thing. It's kind of scary when you think about it that way,
right?
That for let's say a solid year, let's just put a time to it. For a year, you were able to text someone what you're doing, or let's put it 6 months. And everyone was doing the same exact thing. Yo, 42nd was deserted. Manhattan, downtown, Battery State Park was deserted. That was like, I Am Legend. Like, it was crazy. You were able to walk from Harlem down to 42nd Street and not see one car.
Exactly.
That was crazy.
Exactly.
But to creatives, you know, this is a show for creatives. I loved it.
Oh, what?
Creatives was in the house doing all kind of shit.
Word.
It was the first time that entrepreneurs and creatives had to sit down and reconfigure, decompress, just reset their mind. Because an entrepreneur, you're just continuously going.
Right.
I actually loved it. And mind you, this comes from someone that has multiple brick and mortar businesses that depended on people being
That's
outside.
an understatement, sir.
But at the same time, it allowed all of us to reset and to put things in order. I reorganized my photo albums. I reorganized my house. I did shit in my house that I didn't even think I would be doing. I learned how to make furniture. Not learned, but I started making furniture during the COVID.
Wow.
Like I did art. I did all kind of shit that I wouldn't have never had an opportunity to do in the regular operating world.
Right.
So it's like now that we quote unquote back to normal, it's weird because I enjoyed that slow process during COVID, but I could understand the panic. And I was panicked. We always panic,
of course,
as entrepreneurs, but I think it just gave us a time like, yo, this shit is real. I got to figure this out, and let me just reset my mind.
Right. And I'm glad you touched on that, because that's the thing too. And, you know, God bless the dead to, you know, to my mom and everything. Before she left this earth and everything, she would tell me these two questions I always ask myself if I felt to question myself is, you know, what is my conviction and what is my commitment? You know what I'm saying? And that would help me straight throughout all this. You know what I'm saying? And just to aim to pivot. That was the key thing. The willingness to aim to pivot. Right. You know, not just, I got to pivot. I need to pivot. I got to find something else. No, I had to mentally prep my mind to pivot away from what I was normally doing.
Right.
And that's what's helped me out to get out of this as we are now in the spot that we're in now. You get what I'm saying? And to you, I gotta say, give you tremendous kudos, because brother, it's just inspirational for people that I know in my journey of the greatness that they are, what they put together. But with you, it's just another level of greatness, because you always been willing to go past the beyond of just black excellence. You've been going willing. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference to be of black excellence, but then it is, what is your will for it?
Right.
What is your will to do for it? You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy, when we talk about black excellence, the scariest shit about being black. I'm sorry, can I curse on here?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Kells.
I got a pirate mouth.
Kells. I
meant to ask before we started recording.
The host. Really?
But you know, when you talk about black excellence,
right?
What's crazy is I don't think a lot of black creatives, maybe they do understand, but anytime as a black person, when you walk into the room, this is the problem. This is the gift and the curse about being a black creative, being a black entrepreneur. Right. When you walk into the room, whether you want to or not, you're representing every black person in the world, whether you want to or not. That just is what it is. Here's a perfect example. And I always make this example because this is really what it is. A black person will walk into a black-owned business. Mm-hmm. How they're treated, how that business is operated, determines if they're going to fuck with another black-owned business. Same thing with other races. They walk into a black-owned business. If you treat them right, my interaction with a customer or somebody that's fucking with me for the first time determines if they're gonna fuck with black-owned business. We're the only race like that. I've never walked into a Spanish-owned business and thought this. I never walked into a white-owned business and thought this. Black people, for whatever reason, when you walk into a black-owned business, this business determines if I'm going to fuck with all black business, period. You feel me? So what happens is a motherfucker be like, if you have a bad experience with black-owned business and you come in, you know what a black person say, or any other race? I'm never fuck with a black-owned business again.
Right.
I actually thrive in that, and I enjoy it because I know I'm going to represent my people all around the world to the greatest of my ability. You feel what I'm saying? If someone is upset after leaving me doing business, then they're really a toxic person.
Right.
Because I'm the coolest person in the world. You feel what I'm saying? I'm always try to correct my mistake. I'm always try to correct my business. I do not believe the customer's always right. That's bullshit. I have no problem telling someone that's bullshit, because in my business and my family and the businesses that I operate, we're always going to try to fix your problem, right? So I do believe that I exude black excellence. I do believe that I am a pillar of black excellence. But at the same time, sometimes shit just be bullshit. And a lot of customers are bullshit. I see customers coming in all the time to my boutique. They just went to a restaurant or some shit, had a bad experiences. and they write off all black businesses. I'm like, what if that person's having a bad day? How you write off all black business because of some bullshit? If we were to go to a quote unquote white-owned business and they didn't have a certain cup size, a certain lid, we don't write off all white-owned businesses. We just say that business right there was bullshit. Let me go down the block. When people come to black-owned business, you got to be super on point. Everything got to be right, and that's unrealistic. We human, right? We all fucking human. So black excellence there are flaws in black excellence.
Oh yeah, by far.
You know what I'm saying? There are flaws in black excellence. And I want people to understand that you can be black excellence and still have bad days.
Right.
We look at black excellence as a perfection. There's no such thing as perfection. When you come to me, you're going to get the best of what I got. If I can't fix your problem, I'm going to make sure your problem is fixed. I want you to go away whole, right? Because, the art of the deal is walk away with as much of your shirt as possible. Everybody's trying to rip each other off, you know what I'm saying? But when you come to me, I'm going to try to do right by you as best as I can. And if I can't, I'm going to try to alleviate you and fix your problem so you can walk away not feeling like you got some bullshit. But there are flaws in black excellence. You can go to a black-owned business and they're not going to do right, and it's still a great black-owned business. You don't need to go on Yelp and say, yo, this is some bullshit. You don't need to go on Google and say this is some bullshit, because you don't do that when you go to Saks.
Exactly.
You don't do that when you go to Nordstrom.
Or Nike. You don't.
I've had some of the worst experiences in the world in some of these department stores.
Right.
But I'm not going on Yelp and doing this. We go to a black-owned business. We have one bad interaction with one employee. We write off the whole fucking industry of black-owned business. No, you can be black excellent and still fuck up. It is possible.
Right. And I'm glad you touched on that, because shout out to my man DJ Chase, we've been heavily talking about that for a hot minute, what we do at Worldwide Sound Records, you know what I'm saying? We do the best we can to let people know, like, yo, stop doing that nonsense against our own. Stop doing the buffoonery fuckery against us when it comes to our business and whatever have you, or for that matter, things you wouldn't do to Nike. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Real talk, like let's just keep it a buck. Just like the stores you mentioned, Nike, Gucci, like don't do shit you wouldn't do to them.
Right. People go to these stores and accept way less than above average, but come to our stores and want straight luxury experience.
Yeah, word.
And what if I'm having a bad day?
Word.
Sometimes a motherfucker having a bad day. Like, fuck
what if
whatever
the deliveries are late?
Sometimes it's fuck whatever you talking about. Right. We're all human, right? And that's what sucks about, being an entrepreneur, man, is the craziest thing in the world. And my brother said something really dope before we opened up our boutique. He was like, yo, if you're having a bad day, just don't come. But sometimes you got to come, because we're a small-owned business. Like, we are the employees. There ain't no backup staff. There's no PTO in being an entrepreneur.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with all of the things that I do, like, it's like, sometimes you have bad days, and it's all right. It's all right to have a bad day. I want the consumers to understand that. I want people who, like random customers that are walking in, people have bad days. You can have a bad day and still be an excellent company.
Right. And I'm glad we even opened up on that, man.
So it's funny. So during the introduction, it's because we know each other. A lot of people probably don't know what I do.
Right.
So they hear us talking, and they're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Right.
So I know this is late, but
that's all good.
But I am what camera to look in?
You look in this one?
I am Kells Barnett. I'm a designer of 5001 Flavors, owner of Harlem Haberdashery.
Yes.
I have my own liquor, H.H. Bespoke Spirits. I have my own water, H.H. Bespoke Water. I have retail stores outside of Harlem Haberdashery called The Gold Standard. I've been in fashion my entire life. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. This is the only thing that I've ever wanted to do. This is the only thing that I've ever done. So yeah, back to the conversation.
Yeah,
people are listening like, who the fuck are you?
They don't matter. They know. Listen, the creatives out there, I have my hands up out there. You know who I bring to you.
Right.
I don't bring shabby dabby people, son.
Yeah, but in regards to that, like, this is our 30th year. 5001 Flavors is our 30th year in fashion. This is our 10th year. Harlem Haberdashery is our 4th year for the liquor, and the water is just launched.
Right.
Yeah, like, it's crazy, man. Like, a lot of times, because I'm in all of this shit, I never see how dope this shit is. It's dope being an entrepreneur, and it's dope, being in business with people that you love, because all of my businesses are family owned.
Yes, that's a fact.
Now,
Shout out to the family.
Now,
yo.
the misconception with that is that people hear family and they think it's like nepotism or you got on because you're family, and that's far as from the truth. Everyone in my family actually really works, man. Like, there's been some family members that didn't work out. Everybody holds their own weight. And, you know, what's crazy about all of the shit that I do is the success of my family or the success of my businesses. Every single person in my family that's in business with us, they would have been successful without the family. It's inevitable. Some talent is inevitable. It just so happens that we're family. So a lot of times people be like, "Oh, that's a family-owned business." I'm like, "No, we're in business. We just happen to be family." Every single person in my family is a leader. Every single person in my family would have inevitably been successful at whatever they tried.
Right.
It just so happens that we're in fashion. And what's dope about that is because we're like a multi-headed snake, when you meet someone from my family, how you meet them is how you come into the business of my business. So a lot of times somebody will meet a certain person from my family and come around and they be like, "Wait, hold on, is multiple of y'all motherfuckers?" Like, I just thought it was like, so when you come around, you meet one leader, then you come around and be like, "Oh, it's 20 leaders. That's crazy." It's not usually like that. That's why I always jokingly say, like, my family's like the Wu-Tang Clan of fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of us, and everybody's solo albums is just as hot as the group album. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't deny us. Like, I enjoy our success. I enjoy the speed, the impact of our success. Sometimes people who are unfamiliar with us come on one of the brand pages like, "How come you aren't more known?" I'm like, "No, we're actually very well known. You just didn't know us, and that's okay.
You didn't do your research."
Right. There is no fashion industry.
They talking about?
Which camera should I look at?
Either one. This one right here.
There is no fashion industry without 5001 flavors. I want you to really understand this. Anyone in fashion, anyone in the industry knows this. It's always funny when you see celebrities do interviews and stuff, and they say, "We bought this to this brand." I'm like, no. There is no fashion industry without 5001 flavors. There is none. I don't care. I don't care what brand you name. There is none. If you ask someone in the hip hop community about 5001 flavors and they don't know, they're not part of the hip hop community. If you ask anyone in the fashion industry about 5001 flavors and they don't know, then they're not doing their due diligence, because when you're in a particular field, there are certain people you should know.
Right.
There's certain things you should know, unless you're not doing it. We can make a suit in a day. People should, if you're in the fashion industry, you should know who 5001 Flavors is. We create beautiful, timeless pieces that last, that still getting pressed. Master P actually just hit us. It was crazy. Master P actually DM'd me asking me about something I made for him, and we make so much shit. I'm looking at it like, yeah, we made that, P. Like, people don't be knowing. And P done gets so much shit coming across his. We like, y'all, I feel like y'all made this, and I'm sending him other shit we made for him. He's like, "Oh shit, yeah." Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this shit is dope. Like, being in this industry is dope.
Yes, it is.
Being around these people is dope. Being a part of every integral part of hip hop and pop culture to me is dope. So we back to the point where, like, sometimes we do so much dope shit, you don't realize how dope it is till you step back. Like, wow, like, this is important. Like, in 40 years, someone is going to be studying what we're doing here. Like, yo, this shit is important. You know what I mean? Like, to be a part of hip-hop, to be a part of hip-hop history, to be a part of people's big moment in hip-hop, that's special to me. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, because I even researched, like I said, as I kept it real, I researched when I was coming down here, the list of people that y'all supplied with the fashion, uncanny. Yo, I didn't know.
It'd actually be easier to tell you who we haven't done than who we have done. But so what happens is a misconception. Okay. See, most people think the celebrity walks into the office and I'm meeting every celebrity we make shit for, and it doesn't happen like that.
Okay.
To me, people behind the scenes are more important than the celebrities to me.
Oh yeah,
and I don't want a celebrity to hear that, be like, well, that's some bullshit. But I'm more like, I was always more fanned out from seeing the celebrity stylist than seeing the celebrity, because what happens is, to me, the stylist is the curator of our culture. People behind the scenes are curators of our culture. The celebrity is the pinpoint of that curation.
Right.
So a lot of times we work with stylists more than a celebrity. Now, what happens because of social media, the celebrity is actually able to hit us directly because they're able to touch us and see who we are. Before, the stylist was the middleman between my company, 5001 Flavors, and the celebrity. Now, the celebrity is still important, but to me, I always fanned out, like, for stylists. Like, wow, this person is really driving the culture. Or not just a celebrity, people behind the scenes, like Steve Stout was someone that drove the culture. Like P. Diddy was someone that drove the culture. He wasn't necessarily an artist or a celebrity or the main figure, but this is someone who said, yo, this is going to be dope. And I'm talking about P. Diddy when he was Puff. Yeah, like when he gave Jodeci their looks and like stuff like that is important to me because these people are people who shift the culture, and that shift is what shifted the world. Yo, hip hop runs the world, man.
Oh, yeah,
like,
by far.
Like it's crazy.
By far. The culture, not just the rapping.
Yo,
see, and that's the thing. I'm glad we touched on that because shout out to Matt Hoffa on his podcast, My Expert Opinion, and they had the interview with Clark Kent, and it was something that Clark Kent said was so fucking dope, and not to say that. When he said it, that's something I said too. But when I got in the media, I was preaching it heavy for a long time to people. I'm like, yo, rap is only the mere craft of the culture. It's not the culture in its entirety.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when Clark said it, I was screaming in my crib.
Right.
I was like, yes.
Like hip hop,
you know what I'm saying?
To some degree, and I know most people, especially most creatives, hate this saying like something saved my life. Hip hop to most degree saved a lot of motherfuckers' lives.
By far.
I remember being young and listening to Wu-Tang and who said it was Inspector Deck. He said, coming through your hood like the neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right.
Now that line is so insignificant to a bigger picture, but for a black boy from the hood that was into comic books, I was like, oh shit, wait, hold on. It's other black people
that know about
from the hood that knows about it was like a secret thing. It's funny that comic book movies are big now, but growing up, it was almost like some shit you did in the secrecy of your house. Now we realize that more of us was nerds than we weren't.
Of course.
So hearing people like Wu-Tang talk about Dr. Doom and Spider-Man and Ghostface took on this Iron Man character, I was like, oh shit, I never knew people was into this. So when you talk about like hip hop saved my life, like if I was to put a point into it, the Wu-Tang Clan literally changed the trajectory of my life. Like real talk. Like Into the 36 Chambers album really changed my thought on the world because I didn't know that there were other people who thought and felt like how I felt about simple shit. They were talking about shit I didn't even know. Like they were talking about like cartoons and like, watching kung fu movies.
Yep.
We knew we did this in our house. And you may have one or two friends at school that did this, but to hear like street dudes talk about this shit, like, oh shit, I thought I was alone. So when we talk about like hip hop saved my life, like I be watching hip hop documentaries like, yo, this shit is mind blowing because hip hop there's no other music genre that has changed the world like hip hop.
Oh yeah, nah.
If you go anywhere around the world, I was just in Africa, and when they greet you, they be like, "Hey, New York hip hop." Like that's what they say. They don't know no other English words but New York and hip hop.
Right.
And French Montana because I went to Morocco. And he's from Morocco. So they're like French Montana, like all his. They say
Coke boys.
They rap all his bars, but they don't speak no other English.
Right.
I love hip hop, and hip hop has saved so much. Even if you're indirectly a product of hip hop saved your life.
Oh, yeah, by far, man. I mean, the thing, I wrote. I don't know if you caught my post on Facebook, because you know how I give it up on Facebook. It's either hot takes or I speak shit.
Just be ranting.
Yeah. Not even be ranting. I just be speaking shit that matters and makes people wake up. This is almost equivalent to what you do because you be going in too. But you know what I'm saying? So I know I wrote something. I said, yo, about my assessment the last 6-7 years of being involved. You know what I'm saying? I mean, longer career, 16-year career in entertainment, but the last 6-7 of it, especially on the music scene and in the hip hop scene, I'm like, yo, why are cats continuously saying lame shit on major platforms just for the shit for clout? And it's like, regardless of what, I don't care about, okay, you need the energy or the negative energy so shit can sell for you. It's like, my nigga, I thought we got past this already. You get what I'm saying?
So here's the thing. You know, the word clout is interesting because we all have complex personalities, and some days you ratchet, some days you ignorant, some days you're intelligent. I think when people do things, I feel there are people who do things for attention.
Right.
But honestly, we all do shit for attention.
Okay.
So what is the really clout? Like, right? Like, when we talk about the word a narcissist,
right.
Everyone on social media, whether you want to agree with or not, you are a narcissist.
It's narcissistic. Of course.
People, when you say, they're like, oh, shit, I never thought about that way. If you have a social media account, you are a narcissist. Now, are you a good narcissist or a bad narcissist?
Right.
There are some people want to get their ideas out, but you want your ideas to be your ideas. You wouldn't want one of your ideas to come from your Facebook post and then see a major blog repost it. Then that will make you feel bad. Why? Because you're a narcissist, right? You don't give your ideas away for free. Technically, when you're sending a tweet, you are a published author.
Right.
We all are narcissists. It just determines what type of narcissist are you. So when people do things for clout, are they really doing for clout, doing for attention? It's like, I understand why people like you chasing clout, because that is a real thing.
Right.
But I think we throw that word around too much. Some people are just naturally ignorant. So it's like, are they doing it for clout? Or are they just naturally ignorant?
Right.
You know who's who. Some people are forced clout chasers. Some people are just ignorant. Right? Like, some people just have ignorant thoughts, and that's just who they are. But people with ignorant thoughts, we don't say they're chasing clouts. They just have ignorant thoughts. Then there's someone who you don't see as much on social media, just throws out that's a clout chaser. Someone just randomly throw up, like, that's not even your brand. Like, and the reason I brand, even if you're not selling anything, each of us is a brand. This is the marketing world. Each of us in life is a brand. So there's some people who you never had that thought ever. I never seen you say nothing funny, witty, clever.
Right.
Now you have this thought, that's for clout. But someone with ignorant thoughts is not chasing clout. That's literally how they think.
Right.
Clout chasers are people who never had nothing funny to say. Now you got something funny. Like, come on, bro. Sit down. So it's like, when we talk about clout chasers, like, I just think that word is just thrown around too much, because ignorance is a form of expression.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss, but it is a form of expression. Some people are naturally, like, we both know naturally ignorant people.
Oh, yeah.
And would you say they're clout chasers?
No, okay, well, in that regard, in that perspective, you know what I'm saying? No, I think for me, where I was coming from when I post, because there was a few interviews that I watched, and it was of potent
and you could
figures.
Some people are clout chasers.
It was potent figures.
So it goes back to what I said, like, you've never had an ignorant thought, and now this is your ignorant thought, you're chasing clout.
You're right, right. And so that's where I think where I was coming from. And not to say that the people that I watched their interviews, like, they didn't have, how can I put it? Like, they never aired laundry out like that crazy. Like, they said things, but it was like, all right, hold the fuck on. Like, you really, because you on Drink Champs, or you really on who else's podcast can I think of? Or you on
$1 million worth of
Good Game or something like that. Like,
that's a clout chaser's paradise.
Yeah, right.
People be talking about, you be like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, but that could be how they felt that day.
No, true.
And we got to give people grace, because it's like, we all have our days. Like, yo, I'm on violence. I'm choosing violence today, B. I'm just talking about shit that don't even matter, yo.
No, true. But I just feel, for me, like I said, and as I started, when you said about the whole Black excellence thing, see, for me, that's the kind of shit that's kind of leading to the confusing the youth of what we're dealing with now. Because, like, on one hand, you speaking diligently, like, yo, nah, we not doing this silly shit. Okay, cool. Right. But then now you get on the platform, you just went whole 360 left.
Like, but here, I'm on, like, I'm on the fence about, like how we inspire the youth.
Right.
It's because the same way me and you could listen to ignorance, I never received the ignorance the same way as someone else. Right. So what I mean is, like, you know how, like, they said growing up watching violent movies makes you violent?
Right.
It didn't make me violent.
Right. No.
So I don't know that to be true.
I mean, for me, that's always been a raising thing. But that, I mean, that's debatable.
It's a very slippery slope, because there are some people who are susceptible to things like that. Like, they look at Scarface like, I gotta go shoot everybody up. I look at Scarface and look at the beauty of inspiration of making a movie like Scarface.
Right.
It's about perception. The same way you go into a museum, two people can look at one piece of art and look at it completely different. But we're not, like, somebody may look at a Picasso. You ever seen a real Picasso? That shit may drive somebody that's crazier. That shit is not, that shit is crazy. It's
but majority, not to cut you off, but majority of artists are crazy.
This is what I'm saying.
They were some kind of crazy.
Why nobody ever said nobody went to the Met and seen a Picasso and then went and killed somebody? They got to look at hip hop. They got to look at violent hip hop movies. Be like, oh, that's why he did it.
Or blame video games.
I listen to the same music as that person that just killed two people, and I'm not killing two people. Why you didn't say, yo, no, Kells didn't do that. Put that to him. Don't put that to hip hop. Don't put that to our genre of movies. I've watched Scarface probably 200 times. I've never watched it say, I gotta go kill somebody. I gotta go sell drugs. I've never looked at that and did that. But they get one person who did it, like, oh my God, the whole Kendrick got a dope skit on his damn album in the song DNA, where it's an actual news guy saying hip hop has done more damage to black.
I remember that.
What? I would have loved if Kendrick would have did a video for that song and just did a montage of people with 4.0s, people who got accepted to multiple Ivy League colleges and listen to hip hop. Some of the most intelligent black people I know that went to Ivy League schools know more about hip hop than the dude in the streets. Why we don't talk about them? The higher education rate of black women have went up. All of them listen to hip hop. Why are we not talking about this?
Of course.
Black entrepreneurship the percentage of black entrepreneurship had raised up. All of them listen to hip hop. Tyler, the Creator, was just in the Pharrell video Entrepreneur, where he did all of those montage of dope shit. Why we don't talk about those people? We wait till they wait till his one crime. But he was listening,
equals everybody.
He was listening to Lil Durk. I'm like, I know motherfucking college professors who listen to Durk. Why you don't talk about them? And that motherfucker got fucking multiple degrees.
It's crazy.
And that person who even committed the crime would never say I did it because of Lil Durk. We don't do that. Like, I didn't commit crimes because of Lil Durk. I may have been listening to while I was doing the crimes, but that don't got nothing to do with that. It's just weird that that's the way they portray us. You know what I'm saying?
Bad.
But that's art. I'm pretty sure somebody has looked at a Picasso and said, yo, I'm going to kill my wife. Look, a Picasso is some psychotic shit. Like, that shit is crazy.
Listen, man. At the end of the day, man, I'm happy I went to art and design. Like, I had a chance to go, I did have a minor chance to go to Bayside in Queens, but I went to art and design, right?
I got accepted to art and design.
Say word.
I didn't go. I went to Watley, then I went to Randolph.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Harlem shit. Sorry, it's Harlem shit.
Right.
It's all right. It's Harlem shit. But it's all good though. But nah, I'm glad I went to art and design because that shit damn near saved my life besides hip hop. But it saved my life because my teachers were non-conventional. You know, I had non-conventional teachers. Like, I'll keep it a buck. They gave it back. Like, we gave sarcasm and was acting wild. They gave it back.
I think that's how our generation preferred to be taught.
Right.
And that's the problem with education, is that we continuously teach our black and brown boys and girls the same way, and it's different. Every single year is a new generation of people.
Yeah, by far.
So, like, my son doesn't learn the same way as they did 40 years ago, right? Like, I don't learn the same way. If I'm in a meeting or something, and I'm not on my phone or listening to you because just the way my mind is wired, I can multitask. We can multitask. That's our generation.
Exactly.
So when you have unconventional teachers, they understand that. I unfortunately didn't have a lot of unconventional teachers that seen my hyperness as a downfall.
Right.
So it's funny when I see those teachers now, I'm like, you thought I was going to be full of shit.
But now look at what I got.
Right. Like, so, and Rick Ross got a dope line in a song called Holy Ghost.
Oh.
He said, my teacher told me that I was a piece of shit. Seen it the other day driving a piece of shit. That's a real thing. Like, a lot of my teachers are driving pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Miserable lives.
Miserable lives. And I love when they walk past me in Harlem and they see what I'm doing and they hear about what I'm doing. And I love it. Because you didn't believe in me. And I still got all of those report cards that told my mother I was going to be a failure. And maybe to some degree, they probably think I'm a failure because I don't live an unconventional life. But I'm not a failure in any means.
Oh, nah, hell no.
But I love that they thought I would be a failure. So this is why when I talk to parents of young black and brown boys and girls, and their child is wild, or their child is hyperactive, and I always tell them, yo, that's how I was. Creatives are very different. You cannot teach a creative the same way. This is why unconventional teachers, like you said, is very important. The problem is that we try to teach unconventional, conventional, squares, uncool people, cool. We try to teach all these kids the exact same way.
This is cornball shit.
And it's impossible. Like, if I was able to determine how I would be taught, somebody would think I was psychotic. I cannot sit in a classroom and learn. I got a master's degree and I hate school. Like, I hate everything about. I hate the structure of school. I hate the way
the dynamics
of. I wish we could learn. I want to stand up. Like, that's why I don't know if you've seen it, but they sell desks that raise up.
Right.
I prefer to work standing up than sitting down. Sitting down to me is some crazy ass shit. This is why I could never do like a quote unquote corporate America job. I can't sit. I'm not sitting down 9 to 5. I want to walk around. I got to go outside. I got to fucking look at the birds flying. I got to fucking feel shit, and I got to do shit. That's just the way my mind works. Mm-hmm. If I'm sitting down, I'm not listening to it all. Like, I'm not. It may look like I'm like, oh yeah. I'm not listening because I'm unconventional.
Right.
So this is why I encourage unconventional thought. Like, even in my son, like, nah, let him do his thing, because I already know his brain is processing things very differently, and I appreciate it. Creatives are the people that change the world. Think of every aspect of history. Creatives are who changed the world. So unconventional is conventional to me.
Oh yeah, by far. And I'm glad you touched on that, because even with me, right, I always tell my story, like, on guest appearance, when I make guest appearances on other platforms, that, I'm a former D75 student. You know what I'm saying? I beat the stigmatization tremendously.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even thought that I'd probably be a bachelor graduate, you know what I'm saying, or in entertainment or anything like that. It was either jail or, okay, if he doesn't change his hyperness or anger issues, then he's not going to succeed. And it was just like, my mother was like, nah, get the hell up out of it. Right. My mother was a college professor. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? There was no levy of failure. And my dad used to work for the UN. So it wasn't no levy of, all right, he's going to fail. So you had
to do something.
Yeah.
Same thing with my son.
It had to do something. Something has to be done.
You know how, like, growing up in a black family, you know how, like, I'm the first person to graduate high school. My son's mom has a double master's. I have a master's. My son at least got to go to college. I don't know what you do after that. I don't know if you go to sleep on the couch. You've got to go to college.
Right.
And trust me, I don't believe in higher education at all, because you can graduate from Yale. If you don't know the right person.
Yeah. Your social skills is horrible. Yeah, it's over.
Right. So I just want my son to go to college just to see that he's done that. After that, I always introduce shit to my son. I'm like, yo, son, you could be a multimillionaire playing video games.
But, I'm glad you talked about that.
You could be a tester of sitting on furniture. Do you know that's a fucking job? How the fuck is it a job sitting on furniture? Like, people don't know this, yo. It's jobs for everything.
Uber driver, Uber Eats.
Yo.
That saved me in the pandemic.
I know somebody killing on Uber right now.
Yo, son.
Killing. With a master's degree.
I was an Uber Eats driver.
Word?
No, but I was walking this shit.
Oh.
No, I ain't care.
You was walking this shit?
It helped me lose weight. I was getting to the bag.
Right.
I was getting to the bag.
I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. How does that work?
Nah.
You have a bike, nothing, you were just walking.
I was walking. But
you know how you look at the app
strategic.
It's showing the.
I was strategic.
It shows somebody. You like,
listen. I was on that bus.
You like, is Reemo walking?
I was on that bus. I was on the train. If it was far, I was taking the bus or the train. I still got there. The food still got there. Because remember, a lot of people just wanted you to leave it at the door.
Right.
So I left it at the door.
Y'all know wild people that do Uber Eats during COVID, and the job that they had before that is Uber Eats now. Because what I'm learning is you could still live your life normal, and you could just turn it on when you want. Like, right now, if you was to turn Uber Eats on, you would get 40 deliveries right now on where we at.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was walking. I didn't know that was an option.
At the time, I was losing pounds.
As much as I walk, maybe I should sign up.
Yeah, sign up.
Well, I'm walking up this way anyway.
I mean, listen, I'm just saying.
I get somebody there like Kells, like, man,
what's up? What the fuck? I was pushing the movies that I was in. In the message.
While you was delivering?
It was on Amazon Prime.
I would have put my card right there.
Yeah, I put the link. Like, hey, here you go. Watch my movie.
Who the fuck card is this? Business card is this?
Yo, I remember one time, when I first started, right? So I had stopped at the store to get wine cooler and stuff, right? 'Cause, all right, after I'm done, I'm gonna drink some wine cooler, right? So I accidentally left the bag with the food.
The wine cooler, and they thought it was an additional.
They dead tipped me like $30. Like, yo, you left your wine cooler.
Yo, that was fire.
Still, thanks. Thanks for
that. Should have been your signature. Leave
I know.
Yo, the wine cooler, dude. Y'all would love somebody to leave me liquor with my foot. Like, wait, hold on.
Yeah, word,
a pint of Hennessy.
Word, son.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Casamigos.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Word, son. That's the life. Yo, I gotta ask you, son. And you one of the best people to ask. All right. I think it was like 2009, 2010. That was like one of the few last fire MH cookouts, son. How in the hell did y'all were just able to have epic cookouts, son? Yo, real talk. We gotta go.
Funny. It's funny you just said that.
Right.
We actually had one of the best MH cookouts during COVID. Our last one called The Last Dance 2020.
Yes, I pulled up late.
I'm gonna tell you. The way that happened is.
But I want the I think it was 09. You got to talk about 09. 09 was epic.
I'm gonna tell you the most politically correct way.
Because that shit was from the beginning of 4th Park. My creatives. All right, so let me.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So 145th Park.
Right.
Before you get to the Bronx, it's like a major bridge.
Right.
Is that road? I think is 3 lanes. Yo, people used to be triple parked. I'm like, yo, y'all blocking up the whole. We used to stop traffic for the entire city.
Son, y'all had listen. So the stretch of it, if I'm not mistaken, was beginning of 4th Park, which is
about 43rd.
No, y'all had 4th and Lenox.
I know the cookout you talking. I know the.
Yeah,
I know what
that shit stretched over the other side of the highway.
Yeah.
And went down to 35th. How in the wait, I know you're looking at me. You got to explain that. How in the fuck does that happen?
There's a few things. So
here we go. My girl, let me set this up. So when you hear it's a few things.
It is a few.
And it's stretched like that, this is going to be a good story.
It is a few things because, see, most people, within Most Hated, they're very intricate personalities. They're very complex personalities. Everyone has a different connection to the streets than the other.
Right.
So let's say it's 30 people in Most Hated, and I don't know the number, but let's just say within those 30 people, one person is cool with politicians. Right. One person is cool with the street guys who run whatever block. One person is cool with the motherfucking shift officer that run. Like, it's just multiple people.
Right.
And it is an equation that I couldn't tell another crew in Harlem, another crew in New York, another crew in the world. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, y'all were insane, bro.
But what it is again, it is multiple integral, complex personalities within one crew. So between all of us, we were able to do whatever we wanted in Harlem and New York, period, because we have multiple integral personalities. So it's almost like, we all grown now, but it's like the mob.
Yeah, right.
So the reason why the mob was so successful is because there was multiple integral personalities. Mm-hmm. One person had the respect of this person that led to respect of this person. So even when we did our last Cookout 2020, between all of us, we had so much respect from politicians and police officers and police department that we were able, because at once upon a time, they thought Most Hated was a gang. Like, we were labeled a gang. We were in the gang
which
unit.
is weird.
We were in a gang unit. We had a binder. We had pictures up in precincts. Like, they thought we were a gang. Now, by the time we did our last joint, maybe they realized, oh, this ain't a gang. And then there are people within our crew who bring credibility to our crew. Most of us are actual legal business owners.
No, right. No,
like,
which
most
is
of
great.
us are actual legal business owners. Like, and not only are we actual legal business owners, we are pillars of the community. So regardless of the name Most Hated and that scares people, no, we are actual members of this fucking community. And what I always wanted to be since I was young, I always wanted to be a gatekeeper of Harlem.
My fault.
So,
you're definitely that.
So regardless of me being down and starting a crew called Most Hated, don't let that shit fool you. I'm a force in my community.
Yeah, by far.
So the reason why we were able to do what we want is because we are real people in the community. We help out when we need to. We fucking do good. And it's, just sitting thinking, like, it's crazy. I can name 12 business owners in my crew, like real business owners. My man got a fucking sneaker store. My man got a fucking bar and restaurant. Like, we are not regular people. So people always got misconstrued by their name, but we are like actual motherfucking leaders of our community. Like, and I'm not even talking about all the shit that I do. Like, I got fucking banners in Harlem. Like, that means nothing. The respect of people in Harlem, the respect of my crew, the respect of my block meant more to me than who I was.
Right.
So the reason why to answer your question again, the reason why we were able to do whatever we wanted, because we were real people. We weren't people that were sandwiched for the hood and didn't do bullshit. No, we were real people, right? Like, we grew up together. Everybody in the community knew us. The police departments, even though they started out hating us, they realized, no, these are real motherfuckers. These ain't nobody's doing no bullshit. These are real motherfuckers. These are pillars of the community.
Correct.
So my thing to kids is always, the reason my success is, the secret to my success is, me personally is, I never wanted to change who I was. I'm gonna dress how I want. I'm gonna talk how I want. That's why I asked you if I could curse. I'm gonna wear my grills. I'm gonna wear Timbs. I'm gonna wear boots. I'm gonna wear motherfucking Jordans. I never wanted to change who I was. So I think within that, people started to respect us, is because even though you see me as this street guy, I'm not a street guy. None of my niggas is street guys. None of my crew is street guys. This is how we grew up. We grew up in the age of hip hop. This is what you think. This is the misconception that you have of my crew. Right. So the reason why we're able to do these things is because of that. We are real people. We are a real part of this community, our families. You know my mother. You know my grandmother. So, like, even though you have this misconception, just like we was talking about art, people perceive things wrong.
Oh, yeah, by far.
But Most Hated was a real thing. Most Hated is a real thing. Most Hated is business owners. Most Hated is leaders of the community. So we can still do those Most Hated cookouts. What's crazy about the Most Hated cookouts and the misconception is violence never happened at our cookout.
Now, that's a fact.
It's funny.
That's a fact.
Like Ferg, my man. But
shout out to Ferg. Yo,
he said on the line, he said, I attended Harlem cookouts where you risk your life. Now, I got why he said, he was talking about Most Hated cookouts. You risking your life because you're around a lot of active motherfuckers, but we never had violence at our cookouts. Not once. That's important to me.
Right.
Like, that's really important to me. Like, people respected us, man. Like, and it's crazy because of where we had the cookout. When violence does happen, somebody can have a cookout where we had a cookout at right now, and we would get blamed for it. It ain't got nothing to do with us.
Right.
There's never been no real violence at a Most Hated cookout. People respected us, and I've always been fortunate, and I've always felt blessed because of that. The OGs on our block was, I'm talking about dudes 20 years older than us, respected us. We was 16, 17 doing those cookouts. People respected us. But that's because we stuck together, and we real people, and we have real ideas, and we have real dreams and aspirations. And what's dope is all of those dreams and aspirations we had as young Most Hated, everybody is doing that now. Every single body is successful.
Right.
And I always, what I attribute to the success of Most Hated is, when Mills first started rapping, when Vado first started rapping.
Shout out to Mills, Art and Design alum.
Right. Oh, right. And Mills is nice with the drawing. Oh, yeah. I don't know why he ain't take that as a fucking, as a career. But what it is when you start something, when you have a crew, so this is where I know the gang mentality comes from. When you have a crew, if I wanted to sell socks, I already know there are 40 motherfuckers who are going to buy my socks because I'm Most Hated, my crew.
Right.
The reason why each of us is successful within our respectable careers is because of that. At any given moment, any of my dudes can start anything, and you already got 40 people who are supporting you. You can do anything. You can sell glasses, hats, T-shirts, jeans, socks. And the range of careers that we have in my crew are crazy. So people still, it blows people's mind when they find out that I'm most hated, or they find out, like, wait, the same most hated that Vado and Mills and Charlie Clips you talking about? Like, yeah, that's I started that. Like, that same crew. It blows people's mind because why still talk about that? We've done that. We're doing that. I am most hated. Like, I shit tatted on my skin. Like, I am most hated. Like, it's a real thing. Like, it doesn't go away. But we've never been a gang. We've always just been motherfuckers from the community doing dope shit. Yeah. And gonna continue doing dope shit. So again, to answer your question, the reason why we were able to do that is because we real people from the community.
See, that's what's up, because, you know, witnessing that, and also too, for my crew, you know, my crew, Fact Mob, with us and shit like that, our crew, Fact Mob and shit, you guys inspired us tremendously. You know, which
I'm glad you said that, man, because we inspired a lot of motherfuckers.
No, you did not.
And people don't be giving us our credit.
No.
Like, they're like, and this, even if I wasn't most hated, but I always say this too, even if I wasn't from Harlem, I would still say Harlem is even if I wasn't most hated, man, I would say, yo, most hated, man, changed New York City. Like, and I really mean that, man, and I apologize for whoever feels away. I'm sorry.
There ain't no apology.
I'm sorry that you feel
away.
You're
speaking facts.
Yo, we really changed. We changed.
If it wasn't
the way,
facts, listen, not because if it wasn't facts, then okay. But
right.
Hey, continue.
But we really changed the way a crew operates, and people look at the success of a particular person. And the same thing I told you with my family. When it comes to most hated, how you introduce the most hated, you think that's it. Do you come around and be like, oh shit? Like, my man Chill has a sneaker store.
Shout out to fucking Chill, son.
My man Wolf has a restaurant and bar.
Yep.
Like, these are people you may not know because Vado, Mills, and Clips are rappers and they're on the forefront. You don't even realize in the hood, they're just Vado, Mills, and Clips, and there's other superstars within the crew.
Right.
But that's what makes us successful, and that's the same thing that Vado, Mills, and Clips understand and respect, is that I'm a celebrity here, but here, all of us are celebrities.
Right.
Like, my man Shep has a basketball clinic. Like, these people, everybody is doing what they really wanted to do.
Exactly.
Like, that's dope to me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, so when people talk about most hated, ain't no one show pony in here. You come around, you're like, well, hold on, everybody popping. Like, this shit is crazy. So when people see Vado, Clips, and Mills, they just think that. Then when they come around, they're like, nah, this shit is crazy. So that's why we've always been respected.
Now, yo, here's a funny segue. I remember the years when Mills would bring Vado. I'm not gonna say Vado's real name, but he used to bring him to Art and Design.
Yep.
You gotta remember, Vado didn't go to Art and Design. You know what I'm saying? He used to bring him.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I didn't know, like, I'm class of 98. I think Mills is class of 2001.
Damn.
I want to say.
We old, man.
Of Art and Design. If I'm not, I may be right, I may be wrong. But I remember.
I think you off by a year. Because Mills is a little bit older than me. He may be 2000, let's say.
Okay, yeah, he's like 2000 or whatever, right? Because I was like, damn, I'm like, yo. And I used to see him. So then when I got older, like 20s and all that, and I'd be in Harlem, and, you know, Vado knew Cash and Sheed and shit like that, and he knew Doe, you know what I'm saying? And then he knew G and me and whatever. And you see each other all the time, and I'd be looking at him all the time, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, yo. Used to pull, and I used to ask him every now and then, like, yo, bro, you used to pull up the Art and Design? Like, yeah, I used to come with Mills or whatever. I'm like, that's what the fuck it was. Right. Yeah, but Mills was always talented. You know what I'm saying?
Very talented.
He was always talented. Both that, art, with the rapping, basketball, and everything like that.
I don't know about basketball.
He was like, no. No. So, all right, so listen.
He'll tell you that. Mills, he'll tell you that.
Hold on.
I don't know Mills to play basketball.
No.
Okay.
So all right, so I'll put it on like this.
His brother, yes.
Yes. But
Jay Mills, I don't know.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So here's what I'm going to say with Mills. Here's what I'm going to say with Mills. Like I said, he may not remember, but like at Art and Design, like I was one of the top dudes, right? As far as like with ball and shit like that, right? Even though successfully, totality of the basketball team, we ain't really do all that great.
I didn't even know you had a ball team.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, but as far as
y'all was drawing and shit on the court.
Yeah, we
as y'all was coming up the court, y'all was drawing. Art and Design basketball team sound crazy.
Yeah, but no. So but when it came to the intramural tournaments,
oh, y'all was nice.
Oh, niggas was getting it in. That was the war.
Okay.
Intramural tournaments was the war.
But not the real tournaments.
Not the PSALs. Nah, we ain't make it there. Don't do that. That's not nice, man. Yo, but no. But as far as like Mills, from my remembrance, not saying that Mills was alright, but he was one of those scrappy dudes. They used to try to come at cats. But
I don't know if I ever seen Mills on a court. I don't know.
But I'm just telling. I'm giving you my experience.
Okay.
But he knew him, a lot of his crew and Class of '99 crew. That's Walt from Black Ink and that's Class of '99.
Walt was playing ball.
Oh yeah, Walt was nice. Walt was nice. Walt. I'm sorry. No, a lot of cats do that too. No, Walt.
I don't know, man.
No, Walt was balling.
Because Walt's in shape, but I don't know him to be a ball player.
Walt was balling. He wasn't on the team, but as far as like with us, if we were into 60th Park at 60th Street and York.
I'm going to take your word. No. I was uptown.
No, right.
At that point, I wasn't leaving Harlem, so I don't know. Right. It could be true.
Nah, but Walt was balling. I could keep that above. Jay Mills, he was balling, but he was like one of them scrappy dudes.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't like, it was cute and all, but then it was like, all right,
He's
listen.
like Anthony Mason. He was playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on that type. But when it came to like, all right, listen, fam.
All right.
This intramural shit. Listen, fam. The Park shit, like, I'm going to bring the pain too. Because, I'm both Harlem and Queens. So, a lot of niggas used to like be on some funny shit. And I'm like, bro,
okay,
this is different here.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is different here. We not doing this. It's not gonna go right with you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just going with the segue on because it shows the connection even with art and design. Like a lot of cats from art and design is in the industry. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but you know what's the dopest thing about growing up and growing old is seeing people do what they said they was gonna do.
Right.
And I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of motherfuckers who said they were going to do something and did it. And I don't think we realize how dope that is. Because I've always talked about fashion. Like, Chio's always been in fashion. Mills always talked about music.
Yeah,
always.
Right. That's a fact.
So it's dope seeing people do shit that they said. Because we just look at it like, yo, Mills is nice, great. But you don't realize how dope that is. Like, right, like, even though most people probably never heard of Mills inspired a fucking generation of motherfuckers, man.
Generation and written.
Right, like Mills, Mills to me was the epitome of a hip hop dude.
Right.
Like growing up, he was the epitome. Like he knew shit that nobody, like he would read shit. You know, like remember back in the days you get the CD and you read all that shit. He remembers shit like what studio motherfuckers are, just random shit. And I always thought that was dope. But there's somebody hot right now that looked at Mills when he was coming up, and it's dope. I remember Nicki and Drake, right, who are both for Young Money with him, you sort of like, nah, Jay Mills is it. That was dope to me because Jay Mills is a real hip-hop dude. A lot of people are not real hip-hop dudes. Right. Like we could probably name 20 real hip-hop dudes in hip-hop, and Mills will be one of them. A lot of people are not real. They're just in hip-hop. They don't know real hip-hop. Like Mills knows motherfuckers' verses and why he loves a song, and he tell you about fucking music drops, and you're like, damn, like... And what I appreciate about that is being a non-rapper is I look at shit like that, like, wow, like I thought about that shit. I didn't know nobody else thought about that. So it'd be funny, like just standing on the block hearing Mills talk about shit like that. Yeah, and I just always thought it was dope that people are into the shit that they wanted to be into.
Yeah, and what's crazy, here's a crazy part, right? What's so monumental about that with him, like when I saw him when he first was on that stage and was going against Moot, that was crazy.
Right.
That was even crazy for Harlem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, all right, y'all two are from here.
Right.
Y'all from here.
Right.
And y'all had one of the most epic, probably battles in battle rap history.
Did you just see the full circle moment, the Young Money reunion?
No, people were telling me about it.
I remember when I meant to ask Mills he was gonna be there, and I was traveling to Africa when this happened. Then I'm like, oh shit, Drake bought all of them out. I thought that was so dope.
Yeah, you had to.
That was so dope because
he was monumental, man.
Right. So I enjoyed that moment. I enjoyed Mills' career so much. And my man Dre Hove always say something dope. Like when it comes to like music. When it comes to like Vado and Mills, there's nothing anybody like. Those are two of my favorite artists, right? Like Clips is one of my favorite. Yo, I be with people like, yo, did you see the Clips battle? I'm like, Clips won. I ain't even see the battle. I'm like, I don't watch battle rap. Like, it's just not something I watch.
Crazy.
I'm like, yo, Clips won. Like, I don't need to see it. No matter what you tell me, Clips always won. I don't care if you call it unbiased. I
Right.
don't care what you call it.
Right.
Clips
right.
always won. Votto's always hot. Mills is always hot to me, and it's okay.
Okay, hey.
I can show nepotism. It's okay.
That's all right.
Right. Like, you know, it is what it is.
All right, we're gonna ask one. I'm gonna ask you one more thing, and we gotta get you out of here.
Okay.
For your existence of what you've done, what's the main thing that you say about your trials and tribulations of what you did?
Wow.
Yeah, we got
For everything that I've done, what is the trial and tribulation?
Yeah, what do you think you could label it as of your trials and tribulations of what you did?
Like, if I was to put into a saying, it's one of my favorite sayings in the world, I would just say, don't panic. And the reason why I would say don't panic is because I actually feel that people learn more in panic and failure than they do anything else. The problem is that's a scary statement to someone who doesn't want to exist in panic. I've failed at more things than I've succeeded as. I'm not going to tell you the things that I've failed at because I've already surpassed it and succeeded at it.
Right.
The one piece of advice that I continuously give people is don't take anybody's advice. There's not any equation or anything I can tell you that I did that will work for you. We are two different people. We look alike. We look different. We dress alike. We dress different. We think different. There's nothing I can tell you that I did that's going to work for you.
Right.
Now, if you're a young up-and-coming entrepreneur, I could give you tidbits, but don't listen to shit I say because I'm different. Everything I do is different from you. So the reason why I say don't panic is because what I realize is when people see failure coming or when they feel that it's somewhere in the area, they panic. I don't look for failure, but I don't panic when it happens. There are a lot of ideas that I have that just doesn't work the way I want to, but I never panic. The same way I don't panic when I overly succeed, right? So when we talk about just to circle back, when we talk about who are the people that we've done clothes for, and I said it's easier to tell you who I haven't done clothes for. The reason why a lot of times I forget who we done clothes for, once the job is done, I'm on to the next. And people need to think about failure the same way. You can fail, keep it moving.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like one of my favorite motivational speakers, Eric Thomas, said something so dope. He said, when people see Michael Jordan, what they see is success, but what they don't see is the hours he spent in the gym perfecting that one shot. Because what people can, when the constrictions we have in life is a basketball game is 4 quarters, but they can't determine how much you practice for those 4 quarters. That's what makes people successful. And that's why some people are always going to be more successful than others, is because I'm always going to practice more than my counterparts. I'm always going to do more research. I'm always going to surround myself with people that don't allow me to fail. So failure is inevitable, but the amount of failure, the amount of damage that failure does, you can control. You can't control failure, but you can control the amount of the damage of that amount. And that's what people don't understand. I'm never going to make every shot, but what I can do is go into the gym and practice that shot 1,000,000 times. So when it's time for game time, time for crunch time, maybe I can make that shot. And that's what people don't understand. That's why I always tell people, don't panic. Be like, you got to figure this shit out.
Whoa! My creatives, yo, man, man, dude, I gotta give you the pound. Yo, my brother, thank you. Yo,
yes.
My creatives, this is episode 116, right, Wade? 116? 116
nice.
of Cuts, Culture, Urban Technology, and Sports. We are finished speaking with Kells, Barnett. Kells, right now, look into the camera. Let everybody know we should know where to follow. Let everybody know where to follow you at, sir.
Well, you can follow me at Kells Mania, Instagram. My suggestion to creatives is buy a domain name, connect the domain name to your link tree. My website is kellsmania.com, so I don't have to walk to you in the streets and say my link tree. No, it's kellsmania.com. That is KELLSMANIA. That way you go there, it is like a link tree, but it's connected to me. It is personal to me. Whatever your @ name is on Instagram, please buy that domain name and make that your domain name.
Yo, like I said, this is episode 116 of CUTS. You know what the CUTS stand for: Culture, Urban Technology, and Sports.
Yes,
As
yes.
always, you can find me on Instagram at Reemo Marac _. Go to Twitter at Reemo Marac. Go to the website, ReemoMarac.com. If you want to be a guest here on this podcast, CUTS Podcast 1 at gmail.com, as well as go download the Clash TV app, and also weeknights at 9 p.m. on DJ Chase Radio. My creators, you know how we gonna end this, yo. You know the hashtag is PTC. That's Pound That Chest. Come on, man. You know what I'm doing here. We've got the two hands over the shades. After that, it's the two up. That's peace. We out of here.
Yes.
Hey, my creators, what's going on, man? You know what it is, man. This is Neighborhood Ruger Sprayer, Reemo Marac. Nonetheless, man, you just listened to another episode of CUTS. You know what the CUTS stand for: Culture, Urban, Technology, and Sports. Nonetheless, my creators, if you want more, if you want more episodes, if you want to give feedback, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, hit the email cutspodcast1 at gmail.com, as well as the Instagram. Hit the Instagram up at C.U.T.S _. Hey, even if you want to get on my personal Instagram, you know what it is, man. Hit me up at Reemo Marac _ on Instagram, as well as on Twitter at Reemo Marac. Also, too, if you want to go to my website, hit my website up, ReemoMarac.com. And also, too, music creatives. You want to send me your music? Send me your music. I'll give you a great feedback. Also on Groover.com. You know what's up. You know what it is. The hashtag PTC. That's Pound That Chest. Come on, man. Let's get it. Let's go.